In this episode, we're taking this freshly built SR20, putting it into the Silvia, and taking it for a test drive. All right, so today, as we said in the intro, we're taking this SR20 that I just finished building. It is a forged internal, other than that, pretty stock motor. And we're taking that thing, swapping it into the Silvia because this one currently has a non-turbo block with a turbo on it. It's just not running right. It's actually got really low compression. So this thing is getting a full fresh motor. We're gonna get her started and we're gonna take it for a test drive all in this episode. There's a lot of work to do, but we're going to get it finished in this episode. So let's just do it. All right, here's an update. We got pretty much everything removed from the top that we need to be able to pull this thing. Matt is on his way currently with the engine hoist and our big jack so we can lift this thing a little higher. Once we got this thing lifted, I can get underneath and get the drive shaft out and then all the motor mount and the transmission mount bolts. So yeah, pretty much up here we got all the hoses, the radiator, all the electrical connectors and the wiring harness. That's all out of the way. All the fluids are drained except for the transmission fluid. We'll have to do that yet. I didn't really record any of this because it's kind of boring, and the exciting stuff is coming later when we can actually start this thing up and drive it. So just waiting for Matt to get here, and then we're gonna be able to lift this thing up and take care of the rest of the stuff underneath the car. I was just talking about you.
Hey man.
How's it going?
Good.
How was the trip?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah, she's meant for the highways.
Look at how much room we have in here. Like, did you need me to bring anything else?
It feels like a waste, eh?
I could have brought like half the garage over.
It's just ridiculous how much room this thing has. This is the best truck in the world.
It looks so small in there.
It does.
I loaded it up and it's like, okay, what else?
All right, let's get this thing into the garage.
Yeah, man.
All right, status update. We are currently working on getting the transmission all loosened up from the car so we can pull the engine and transmission as one. So Matt is getting the shifter removed from the inside of the car. I'm working underneath. We've got the drive shaft out and the transmission is drained. Now we just have to get the downpipe, sort of turbo elbow, off of the downpipe so the exhaust is separated. And then the motor mounts, transmission mounts, and then this thing is ready to pull. So here we are, everything is ready to be pulled. We got everything disconnected. Of course, we're gonna forget something, but we'll find that out when we start pulling. The hoist is hooked up. We're gonna, just send it, right?
Start refilling.
Lift it.
Yeah, you release yourself.
Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah, starter.
Oh.
I did the alternator, but I forgot about the starter. Yep. That should be the last one. Let's just right into the starter.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're in the process of taking all the accessories from the old motor and putting them on the new one. So Matt has got the exhaust manifold that he's installing.
Yeah.
How's that gonna work for you?
I just want to get that oil return on there. That worked out beautifully, actually.
Nice. Well, she was meant to fit this motor. So while Matt's putting that exhaust manifold on, I'm getting started on the intake manifold, and one of the things that we're doing is installing an oil pressure gauge. And the reason I'm doing this now is because it's kind of underneath the intake manifold. So this is an electronic digital gauge. So this is the pressure sender, which sends the electrical signal to the gauge itself. This is something I didn't have installed previously and could have very well been could have very well helped to prevent this engine from blowing in the first place. So that gets installed down here where the stock oil pressure sending unit goes. So I'm putting in a T, and then we're going to be able to put the stock pressure sensor in one and the aftermarket pressure gauge in the other. It's gonna be heavier, but I guess I've been working out, man. So let's slide it onto the studs, one on each side. Yeah, okay. All right, we're good. All right, here we are. The engine is completely done and ready to be lifted up. We got to get the transmission on. So clutch flywheel first, transmission, then this thing is ready to hoist into the car. So Matt's getting the hoist ready now. Let's get her lifted up and in. Good. Here we are. One more minute. All right, and I don't want to wreck anything.
So do you want me to lift up the back of the trans?
Oh, nice. All right, and if you can pull the hoist back. Holy smokes.
That was easy.
I need to repaint.
That'll buff out.
I see steel under there. Well, that took a lot longer than we were expecting. The transmission was really difficult to get mated to the engine, and we found out we just didn't have the engine level enough. So finally got that figured out. Engine is in the car now, so we just barely got it sat down on the motor mounts. So the next step is to just put everything back together. It's really just a lot of boring fiddly work, so we're just gonna plug away at it, and then when it's ready to start, we will check back in. So we will get to that now. All right, a little more progress. Everything from underneath is done, which I think, in my opinion, is the worst because you're lying on the cold concrete floor and it's dusty, and I just get really tired. I want to fall asleep, but Matt's been working up here. A little problem we ran into is this ATI super damper. The power steering pulley looks to be a little smaller than the one on the OEM crank pulley, so this belt is actually wicked loose, and so we're taking it off so it doesn't squeal. I'll have to get a new belt that's just a little smaller than that one. Matt's now working on the wiring harness for the intake manifold, and I'm going to start getting the cooling system in. Next part will be the air intake, and then after that fill some fluids, and I guess go for a start.
Yeah, first startup.
Yep. Here we are, Matt. Mm-hmm. We are finally at that point where we are ready.
12 hours later.
Not quite 12 hours. You got here.
I got here like just before 10 o'clock.
Okay, then we took a stop at the record store for 3 hours.
I guess so.
That was an hour and a half. Okay, we're pretty much going on 12 hours here. And it is in. It is wired up. Last step is the batteries in. Got our oil pressure gauge here. And yeah, I think we're ready to start cranking. So what we're going to do here is, because it's a brand new engine, we are going to prime it and just make sure that we're getting good oil pressure first before starting it. So we do not have the coil packs in or spark plugs, and the fuel pump is turned off, not wired in. So we're just going to crank it until we have a good amount of oil pressure, probably 50 psi at least, maybe more. And then after doing that for a little while, we'll put the coil packs, spark plugs, fuel pump on, and then see if she fires. So I'm very nervous about this to see what's going to go wrong, and just to see if I can build oil pressure. So let's give it a try. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Here goes nothing. Building oil pressure. There we go. We are ready for first startup. We've got the spark plugs and coil packs in.
That's all the coolant, man.
Good. well, we do have more concentrate. We just have to mix it. All right, so now's the time. We got the fuel pump on as well. So we're going to fire it up for the first time. We got, well, I should mention, we got good oil pressure. It was about 25, and it's supposed to be between about 20 and 50 when you're just priming it on the starter motor. So we're pretty happy with that. Gonna fire it up, make sure we got good oil pressure, and then go from there. All right. Maybe that was a good start. 75 psi of oil pressure.
Sounds good.
Oh. It always has that idle, that's normal.
Yeah.
The motor sounds good. We're getting good oil pressure.
I don't see any leaks yet. No fresh oil on the floor.
All right, guys, that's it. The car runs great. We have about 70 to 75 psi of oil pressure, which is really good for a cold start. We only let the car run for about 60 seconds, maybe longer. Just check for leaks. But we have to bed the piston rings into the cylinder walls properly. So that requires taking it on the road, getting a good load on the engine. So we'll do that another day. But we're gonna end this video here. It worked out so well. I mean, there were some headaches with the whole transmission going on to the car. I don't know if we talked about that, but that was a headache. It took us about an hour. And everything else just took time. But man, it was worth it because this thing runs good, sounds smooth. If you want to see the video of us building this engine, I'll put a link up somewhere. You can also check out some of our other videos. What are we doing now? We're working on CRX that we're getting ready for dirt cross.
That's got to be the priority now. Now that we've got this thing running, I think it's just going full CRX now. Get the thing ready.
Yep. Matt's got a turbo motor build going on for his Civic.
Yeah, but that's
a ways down the road. But
somewhere
there's been a little bit of progress on that. Cool things coming on in the future. Thanks for sticking around this long and checking us out. We'll see you in the next one.